Can everyone hear me? Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. So sorry, I'm just trying to set up my camera. Good evening. I see that you can hear me. Okay. Good evening. You're all welcome to our live this evening. Great. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Anna. Thank you. Thank you, Basi, for Kayode. I see everyone that has joined. Thank you so much, Kristen. Thank you. Thank you for joining our training session today. You're welcome. You're welcome. I noticed that there are some people that are very regular, like, and I really appreciate you. I appreciate you for always taking out the time to learn and to grow. Like you know, learning most times is the way to show that you're committed to your own personal growth and to your personal success, right? So I want to appreciate everyone that's live on here today. And I would just like you to type in the chat box. It's always good to know where you're joining me from. I'd like to know if you're joining me from Lagos, if you're joining me from Owerri, Ebonyi, Abuja, or maybe outside the country. I thank you so much, Dolapo, joining from Nigeria, Korede joining from Lagos as well. Thank you so much for joining. Yes, and it's been a surreal experience being, you know, the teacher of this realtors training class. And in the process of taking this class every month, I personally get to learn a lot. Anna, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, Anna from Lagos. Thank you so much for joining. And it's 5:05 already. And today's class is going to hold for 45 minutes. And we'll keep very interactive. I know that real estate is a business that requires a lot of daily improvement. That's real estate for you. You can start you can start out as a novice, and because you commit to learning on a daily basis, in the next, say, 3 months or 4 months, you can become a top seller, right? Real estate is a business that thrives on your skill. Okay, you can't make continuous sales in the real estate space if you don't have the skill. So if you don't improve, on the skills, except maybe you are the daughter of the president. And I mean, you know, all the senators and the politicians of that relationship, they can easily just buy from you, right? But most of us in the real estate space, most of us start out as not we all don't know anybody, right? We all don't have the clientele from the beginning. So we have to always upgrade. We have to always upgrade on our skills. We have to always upgrade on, you know, things that can help us to make sales in the real estate space. And most of all, we have to, you know, learn what it takes. And today's topic is a very interesting topic. We're talking about offering the right property to the right client. So of course, we all know that we need to make sales, right? We have the properties, but do we know who to offer what to? Do you know the right person to offer the properties that you have, right? A lot of us have in our portfolios, we have land, we have duplexes, we have 2-bedroom apartments, we have terraces. But then at the back of your mind, you know that I need clients that can buy anything. But at least you need to know which clients can buy what, just from conversing with them. Because most of the time, a client that is saying, I need to buy a duplex, necessarily doesn't need to buy a duplex, right? The client that wants to buy a duplex that is telling you that I want a duplex in Lekki Phase 1 and I have 150 million. Definitely, that client does not want to buy a duplex, because a duplex in Lekki Phase 1, you can't get for that price, right? So we need to know from our conversations with the client what property to offer to the client, and then how do you give a client that is reaching out to you and saying, I want to buy a duplex, how do you now offer a 2-bedroom apartment to that client, right? Because sometimes clients want what they want. It is what they want that they want. Problem is that they probably might not be able to get what they want in that location that they are saying they want it, right? So it's how we now are able to decipher what is fit for these clients, right? That's what we're talking about today. Offering the right property to the right client. So I had an experience with a client, and this client works with Dangote. So not the refinery. The client works with Dangote Cement. Okay, so I was going there for to pitch to him because he was the head of their cooperative, right? And I was going to pitch to him about our project and to see how their staffs can buy into our projects, you know. So then at this period, I just started out in real estate. I got there and we got talking, and I started telling him about all our properties. We have properties in Lekki. We have 2-bedroom apartments. Our 2-bedroom apartment then was going for, I think, 64.5 million, or like close to 80 million, right? That's what our apartment was going for at that time. I told him we have another project in BGC. That one's going for 67 million. Another, the 3-bedroom apartment going for 80 million. You know, I told him about like 3 different kinds of properties, but then they were going for high priced. They were in the high price range. He kept nodding. Like, oh, okay, our lovely property, good locations, you know. And then he said, no problem. Just give me the brochures, give me the flyers, and I'll get back to you. And that was it. I'll get back to you. We all know what they mean when they say I'll get back to you, Abby. So he never got back. And I kept calling him. I kept sending him messages, like, you know, reminding him, sir, our properties. This was like, I think I was maybe about 6 months in, just started out in real estate. So, I mean, we learn every day. He didn't get back to me. Needless to say, they didn't buy. But later on, I got to know the reason why they didn't buy. It was because I was offering the wrong property, the wrong price range. That was the problem. I was offering a property with the wrong price. And he probably felt, they really don't have what we can buy. They really don't have the properties that is in our price range. Do you get? And that was like 1 year down the line, I got to find out that, I mean, there is a particular kind of product with a particular price that you offer to different kinds of clients, right? And I learned that after losing about maybe 3 or 4 clients, right? So it is really important. It is very important to know what clients, what property to offer what client, okay? So we start out with the very first thing, right? The very first thing that you must know when you're offering, when you have a client that you're speaking to, the very first thing you must know is you must understand the need of your client. Understand client need, right? By identifying the client segments. So there are 3 segments of clients. There are first-time buyers. There are return buyers. Okay, so return buyers, let's say 4 segments. There are the first-time buyers. I hope you are taking this down because this is something that is really important if you need to make sales in the real estate space. Okay, you have to know this, right? So we have first-time buyers. We have return buyers, right? Sorry. So we have first-time buyers, we have return buyers, we have investors, and then we have institutional buyers, right? So first-time buyers, return buyers, investors, and institutional buyers. So 4 segments of client. So you must understand this person I'm talking to, where does he fall into, right? There, from the conversation, you have to understand what are his needs. What is he telling you, is the reason why he's buying the property. In the conversation, you hear something like, oh, we want, maybe it's first-time buyers, right? And we want to go into this real estate space. We're looking to buy properties in the real estate space. A lot of the time, first-time buyers are like either investors or they are couples. And they want to buy their first home or their first land, or most of the time, first-time buyers don't even have knowledge at all of the space. So they are asking you questions like, where do you think we can buy a property that we can probably land, where they can buy a property that they can build so that is ready for building now, or they want to buy an apartment, and they're asking a lot of novice questions, like they don't have knowledge at all of the real estate space. You get to know that, oh, these people are first-time buyers. So you want to ask them questions like, so what's the reason you want to buy the property? What location is of interest to you? How do you intend to pay? Do you have money saved up, or are you looking to pay through mortgage? These questions that you're asking them is how you get to identify the need. So the number 1 thing you have to do is to identify your client's needs, which was something that I did not do, or I did not ask my clients when I was trying to offer them at Dangote, offer them our properties. So you're buying, what is the price range of the staffs? What is the price range of property that you are looking at to buy? What is the location that you think that the staffs can buy? If they are institutional buyers and you're going to pitch to a company to buy for their staffs, a lot of the time, institutional buyers are looking for low-priced properties. So you don't want to offer them anything that is above 50 million or 60 million for apartments, right? And many of the time, a lot of them, in those days, many companies are looking to buy land, right? But now, most companies are tilting from land, buying land for their staffs. They are now tilting to buying apartments. Reason is because most times land, when they buy land, the staffs are not ready to build yet. So the lands just stay there for years without them building, and they begin to have issues either of documentation or of land grabbers, or they begin to have issues of this one is ready to build, this one is not ready to build. So when this one has finished building, this one is, growing grass beside it. So most of the time now, companies are not even looking to buy land anymore, except the staffs are paying directly from, their pockets. But most times, companies are buying for their staffs via their cooperatives. And these cooperatives means that the staffs are paying partly for what they are buying, and then they now get to pay from either mortgage or RSA or NHF, So a lot of the time, they are looking to buy low price properties. They are looking to buy properties maybe in Mowe or Ekpe or maybe Lakawe, because that's where you get the low price properties, right? And in, outskirts, areas that are just developing, those are the locations that they're looking to buy properties from. And then a lot of the time, why they want those areas is because they are buying in bulk. So they want an area where they can get land like 50 or apartment like 40 apartments at a time. And most times you don't get that in the middle of town, especially for the price range that they want to buy it. So you know now at the back of your mind that when you are pitching or when you are speaking to a company for them to buy properties from you for their staffs, you know that you want to offer the lowest range of prices of apartments, something within the range of 40 million, something within the range of 30 million, 20 million and above, practically 20 million to the range of 50 million. This is what you want to look at offering to a company or a cooperative, right? So understanding their needs is the very first thing, right? Identifying the client segment. No, you have to know, is this person buying a property for the first time? And the only way to know this is to ask questions. You can go online and go on Google and type, what are the questions to ask a first-time buyer? You can do that search. Write down all those questions. What are the questions to ask someone that is looking to use his apartment for Airbnb? What are those questions? You go on YouTube and look for them. Reason I'm not stating all of that is because if I start, we will not leave here today. We have only 45 minutes. So these are things that you can easily get on Google, on YouTube. You can easily get these things. Okay, so go online, search for those questions, write them down, and then, go over them from time to time, or talk about when you ask the question by yourself when you're like rehearsing, right? I do this a lot. I stay in front of the mirror and I converse with myself, or sometimes I tell my colleague to sit down and we role play. We ask ourselves, what are those questions, right? That clients will be asking, what are the objections? So you ask the client, and then the person, you can use your sister, you can use your brother, your husband, anybody, let them sit down. Then you ask them the questions and let them respond as if they are clients. Then also now see how you can give right answers to those questions. So questioning is the way to identify your client's needs and to also know which segment they fall into. Do they fall into the first-time buyers? Do they fall into return buyers? Return buyers are people that have already bought properties and they want to buy another one. These return buyers have the power, financial power to buy high-priced properties, right? Because they probably have already bought one and gotten a cash flow from that, and they're adding it to their savings or whatever investment plans they have to buy a second property. So most times, return buyers always have the financial power to buy high-priced properties. So return buyers most times are looking to buy properties in Lekki, Phase 1, Ikate. Most times return buyers are the ones that don't want to go beyond Aja. They want to buy a property and they don't want to go beyond Aja. They are buying this property either for them to live in it or for them to use it as, rental or Airbnb, right? So a lot of return buyers are always looking to buy properties. They can afford properties 100 million above because they've bought something before, right? They have grown their wealth to some stage that they are now a bit stable to buy higher priced properties than what they bought before. Do you understand? So you must understand your client needs and be able to identify where does this person fall into, so that you know what to offer the person, right? Offer the client. You must understand their needs by knowing the location they want to invest into, or what size of maybe property they want to buy. These are some questions that you can ask. Location, what location are you looking to purchase a property? What size of land? Some of them want to buy properties where they will build and live with their family and still have enough car parking space. So you know that such people should be buying a land from anything 450 square meters, 500 square meters, because this is the space that allows them to build and also have enough space for car parking, right? So knowing the location, knowing the size, knowing the kind of amenities that they would like, some of them want serviced apartments. Some of them want to live in a serviced estate. Some people want self-service. They don't want to pay service charge yearly. They want to do it by themselves, right? And then you get to ask, what is their budget? What are they looking? How much are they looking to pay for the property they want to buy? How are they looking to also pay? Do they want to pay from their pocket 100%? Do they work in maybe a governmental institution that they have access to their RSA or access to their NHF? You need to ask these questions so that you know what to offer them. Okay, there are some properties that clients can pay via mortgage, and there are some, especially ready-made, already fully built properties, is upfront 100%. Those ones are not open to RSA. Those ones are not open to NHF. But then off-plan properties like what we sell at Terra, it is open to RSA, open to NHF. They can pay, over 18 months. They can get, a payment plan that makes them, help them to pay easy. Right? So these are things you want to ask your client and know. Then when you when you get that, you have to know, now that you have known what clients, you should have the profiles. It comes with a BQ, it comes with 24 hours light, it comes with swimming pool, it comes with a gym. That is profiling the property. So you must have profiled your property even before speaking to your client, so that once you know the needs of the client, you can easily match the client to, the person is talking to you and say, I need to invest. I need something that will give me returns on investments of at least maybe 10 million a year. Now you know that the property that can give him 10 million a year has to be a property that has amenities. Those are the ones that can yield high returns on a daily basis. So it has to be properties, maybe 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom apartments that are in service estate that come with all the amenities: swimming pool, gym, 24 hours light, 24 hours security, maybe CCTV, kids play area. Properties that come with these amenities are properties that are suitable for investment, like Airbnb, and they are the properties that can give your clients return on investment that is high and in a short period of time. So if your client is looking to invest and is saying, I want something that will give me good cash flow, then you should know that he should be investing in Lekki Phase 1 or VI or anything around Ikate, Ikoyi. Those are the areas he should be investing in if he wants return on investment in a very short time. And it has to be 2 or 3 beds for investment, most times 2 or 3 beds, sometimes 4 beds most, but 4 beds most times is seasonal, right? Because families are not always looking to do Airbnb. Most times when families even come, they're looking for 3-bedroom apartments. But it, during the peak period like December, like Easter, those periods, yes, 4 beds thrive, But then if a client is looking, like you're speaking to an investor, then you should be offering you should be offering that investor apartment, 2 or 3-bedroom apartments, 1, 2 or 3-bedroom apartments in these locations, because those are the locations that guarantee return on investment because of high traction, high development, high security, clean areas, serene environment. Those are the environments you should be speaking to an investor about. Okay, so understanding the property types and features like residential or commercial, location, sizes, and amenities. You must understand all these things about the properties that you're offering to your client. Do you understand? So, and then now you must identify property strengths and weaknesses. Identify property strengths and weaknesses. So when I say property strengths and weaknesses, I mean that like a 2-bed has high potential to do better than a 4-bed, right, for investors. But then a 4-bed has the potential to do better for a return buyer that wants to move with his family than a 2-bed. Do you understand? So each property has its strength and has its weakness, right? A 4-bed doesn't do so well for investors, but performs wonderfully for residential units, for return buyers or families that are looking to move to the next level of societal class, right? So you should be able to understand the strength and the weaknesses of the properties that you're offering. Investors that are looking to do land banking or land flipping, then they should be investing in land in Ekpe or that axis because of the government that is trooping into that area seriously. Like, right, there's a high development rate, infrastructure construction, the airport, the seaports, all of that is given appreciation a very fast rate along that axis, right? So people that are looking to buy, investors that are looking to buy land, they don't want to build. They just want to buy it, leave it for like 5 years and then sell it again. That is the location that they should be buying, lands because of the fast appreciation rates. And of course, lands with good documentation, okay? So that they don't lose their hard-earned money. So this is what I mean by you need to know the strength and the weaknesses of the property so that you know what to offer to who, right? A client that is talking to you and saying, oh, I just need somewhere that I can stay when I'm in the country, and when I'm not in the country, I can use it to yield some money, right? That's Airbnb. So you want to be pitching a 1-bed. If the person is not married, you want to pitch a 1-bed to that person because it's easily acquirable because of the price. Say, okay, 1-bed, you can easily get a 1-bed in Lekki or in Victoria Land for say 50 million or 60 million or 70 million, thereabout, right? You want to pitch a 1-bed to that person. But if it's someone that's married and has a family, maybe just starting out, then you want to pitch a 2-bed to that person so that when they visit Nigeria, they are able to stay in that unit because it's in a very secured area. It has all the services they need, like light, water, security, all of that. It has all of that. So you want to know what to pitch to whom. And is highly important. Because once you miss it and they feel like, oh, that's not what I want. So this person is saying something far from what I need. They move straight to the next person that is telling them what they want to hear. Do you understand? So identify the property strength and the property weaknesses. That way you are able to know what to pitch to whom. You understand? And then creating a property profile to match client need. So what I did was I wrote down, and you can do that even now, right? We have talked about the 4 segments of clients. We said there are first-time buyers, there are return buyers, there are investors, and there are institutional buyers. So you can create a table and right here on the first table, first-time buyers. First-time buyers most times are looking to buy 1 bed, they want to buy maybe 2 beds, or they want to buy a plot of land just to keep it for land banking or land flipping. So you want to write all of that, write it under first-time buyers on your book or your Microsoft Word or whatever you use for operations, right? And then for your return buyers, then you want to write the location as well. First-time buyers, write down the kind of property, the location they are looking to buy it, and location, you always know the right location for them when they tell you their budget. So you can use their budget to determine the location that suits them, that suits the first-time buyers. So you want to write the price, you want to write the location under first-time buyers, write the kinds of property. I mean, first of all, the kinds of property that first-time buyers can buy. Then the price range. First-time buyers, most times, they cannot afford something that is highly priced. They want to buy something within the range of from 30, 40 million to about 60 million, okay? Because they are just gathering their investment, they are just gathering their funds to be able to acquire property, at least to start out. And then those ones that are looking to buy land, maybe some of them are looking to buy land of 9 million, 10 million. You want to also, or 3 million or 4 million. You also want to write the price of the lands that those first-time buyers can buy. Write it under that table of first-time buyers. Then once you know that these are the price range of the properties that they can afford, then you write the locations. Locations of 1 bed or 2 bed apartment where can you get 2 bed apartment that is 60 million? You can't get it in Lekki Phase 1, definitely. You can get it maybe in Ajah, somewhere from maybe Osakpa downwards, Ajah, Abraham Adesoya, around those areas. You want to also now write that location under first-time buyers, right? So you know that this is what first-time buyers can buy, 1 bed or 2 beds. This is the price that they can afford, and this is at the location that those properties are. So when you're talking to a client and you're asking, so have you, is this your first time is it the first property that you'll be acquiring, or have you bought before? What's your budget? When you're asking those questions, and don't be scared to ask those questions, because I think that is a big problem for many realtors. Don't be scared. Ask them these questions, and you'll be surprised. They'll answer you. They'll tell you, oh, this is the very first property I'm buying. You think that's too private. Some people feel that maybe this client will not want to tell me I'm intruding into his privacy. No, that's not intruding into his privacy. These are the things that will make him to see you as a professional. Okay? So you want to ask this question so that you can know exactly what to offer the client. Okay? So when you're writing that down under first-time buyers, now do for return buyers. Return buyers are looking to buy maybe 2 bed apartment, 3 bed apartment for investment or for them to live in. A lot of the time, return buyers can afford highly priced properties. Most times because they want to buy a better apartment than where they are living, and they want to move in there. They want to live there. Okay, so they can afford something higher, then you know that return buyers can afford something in the range of 80 to 100, 120, 140 million. So you now write the under return buyers, you write the price range, says anything from 60 to 120 to 140 million. Write the price. The kind of property, 3-bed, 4-bedroom terraces or 4-bedroom duplexes. That's the kind of property within those price range. Then you also now want to write the location for those kind of price range for the 3-bed, 4-bed terraces. You want to write the location as well under it. Like if it's one, VI, Ikoyi, Ikate, VGC, down to Aja, you can get these properties within that price range, depending on what the client, has told you. Then you also want to do the same thing for investors. Investors are practically looking out for returns, profits. That's what they are looking at. They want to make profit from whatever property they are buying. So it means that you're looking at apartments or properties that can double as both Airbnb and rental properties that they can also live in for when they're in the country, right? So investors are basically concerned about return on investment. So that should be your focus. When you're hearing somebody telling you that I want to buy it for Airbnb, that's very popular because now the exchange rate is very encouraging for Nigerians that live in diaspora. The exchange rate is good for them. So many of them are taking the opportunity of the exchange rates to buy properties for Airbnb. So there is a lot of clients in the market now looking to buy properties for shortlets, for Airbnb. That if you joined our last IG live, you would find that is the shortlet industry is really booming now. So many Nigerians in diaspora are looking to buy properties for investment purposes, for Airbnb. So you want to know that what they need to buy is a 2-bed, a 3-bed, a 1-bed in locations that are safe, secured, and they have to buy serviced units. Serviced units, because if they are buying properties that they have to service themselves, it is a lot of headache. So they are not here, but they have to buy fuel, they have to employ security, they have to make sure there's water there all the time. They have to make sure that it's a cleaner cleaning the compound, keeping it clean all the time and all of that. So the best fit for someone that's looking to buy an apartment for Airbnb purpose is a 2-bed, that is a 2-bed or a 3-bed that is a service unit, right? And you can also now pitch to them to buy properties with payment plans so that they can buy at a very low rate. The reason you need to tell them this is because they are concerned about return on investment. So they must buy properties at the lowest rate possible. Off-plan properties, you can easily get a 2-bed, excuse me, you can easily get a 2-bed apartment at off-plan for 100 million in Lekki Phase 1 or 120 million, 130 million, while a ready unit can be as high as 180, 160 for ready unit. That is a whole 40 or 50 million naira that the client can save in profit. Because really, if they are buying an apartment off plan, by the time the apartment is completed and delivered, then the apartment has already appreciated to maybe 180 or 200 million. That client, that investor, first of all, even before starting to use this apartment for Airbnb, has made a profit of 60 to 80 million naira, first of all. And this is what catches them. When you tell them, sir, this property was selling last year, this 2-bedroom apartment was selling at 60 million. In the next 6 months, it appreciated and was selling at 75 million. Sir, now this 2-bedroom apartment is selling at 100 million. I'm very sure that in the next 4, 5, 6 months, this apartment will be selling at 130 million. Within the next 6 months, sir, you would have made a profit of 30 million. You've not even started using it for Airbnb, but you have started making profit. If you speak this language, this is the language of the investor. Return on investment is their language. So you need to know what class they fall into for you to know the language to speak to them. Okay. And then if you're not talking to an institutional buyer, a company that wants to buy for their staff, we talked about it earlier, then you know that you should not be pitching anything that is expensive to them. Because first of all, they want to buy for a lot of their staff. So they will buy multiple units. So they need to go for the unit that is lowest in price. One, very important. Secondly, they need to buy from a company that can help them to break their payment plan in such a way that they can pay part payments from their pocket, make another part payment from their RSA. RSA means from their pension, right? And they can also make, for some of them that have access to NHF, they can also make part payment from their NHF, right? Terra offers this. Terra offers this. So if you have companies that are looking to buy properties for their staff, but they want some assisted kind of payment plan, we offer this. Okay, so you want to talk to the companies or the cooperative head or the HR of the company in this language, in these terms. We can help you access your RSA. We can help you access your NHF. We can help you break down your payment plan in such a way that the staffs don't get to pay the full amount from their pocket. They pay part of it, maybe only the first 30% from their pocket. So if they are buying a property of, say, 40 million naira, two-bedroom apartments of 40 million naira, like what we have at Nathan's Bay, Lakure, our two-bedroom apartment is 40 million naira. Two-bedroom maisonette with BQ, sorry. Two-bedroom maisonette with BQ is 40 million naira. Fully finished is 40 million naira. Now, if you are pitching to an institutional buyer, or you're pitching, this 40 million naira, it's sounding big, but that's not what you're going to pay, sir. Since your company your staff has pension and your staff has NHF, everything that the staff will pay from their pocket out of the 40 million naira is 12 million, which is 30%. So imagine that me as a staff, I want to buy property and I'm hearing that I can buy a 40 million naira property with just 12 million naira from my pocket. Who will not go for such an opportunity? That I'll pay only 12 million. And then you can help me to get 25%. You know that these cooperatives or staffs that work with government companies, they have access to 25% of their pension. The government has allowed that. So they can access 25% of their pension to pay for a property, and it's only property they can use it to pay for, nothing else. Do you understand? So a lot of them will run to grab this opportunity when you offer it to them and tell them, sir, once you pay the first 30%, 12 million, just relax. The next thing is we will help you to access your pension, and we'll take out 25% from your pension to pay the next tranche, depending on what they have in their pension. Managers, most times in these institutions, a lot of managers, people at the managerial level, many of them have maybe 30 million in their pension, 40 million in their pension. Yes, some of them have up to 60, 70 million in their pension, right? So take 25% of that. 25% of 70 million of a manager that has 70 million in his pension. 25% is, that's about roughly 17.5 million naira. It's even higher than the 30% that he has used to make a down payment. Do you understand? So it is a win-win if you are speaking to companies that wants to buy in bulk for their client or for their staffs. I mean, it is a win-win for them that they don't get to pay the whole amount. Just pay this. We'll help you pay the next tranche. We'll help you access your NHF to pay the next tranche. They will call you in and say, come and do presentation. And then before you know, they've bought. Do you understand? So knowing what the class of the client that you're speaking to, are they first time, are they return, are they investors, or are they institutional? So institutional buyers means that companies that want to buy for their staff's cooperative, then you know that this is what I'm going to offer to them. offering them property that's low price, maybe in areas where they can get bulk of it, right? And then you now match them. Once you know the client and his needs, you know the property to offer to the client that has these needs, then you match it. Once you meet the client, it's easy. It is very easy because you have done your homework. You have, categorized the client into categories. You have also categorized the properties that fit the client. So once you know and you're speaking to the client and you know that, this person has bought a property before, that means he's buying a second property or he's buying a third property. It means that you should be able to afford something that is 100 million upwards. Okay, let me go and look at return buyers. What is my criteria? And speak to him in those lines. Do you understand? Now you know the two angles and match them together and speak that language. I've been the one talking all the while. Please, I just want to know if you are still hearing me. Can everybody still hear me? Are you following? Can you hear me? Please just type in the chat box if you can still hear me. Can you hear me, everyone?
Yes, ma'am. Doing fantastically well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I just want to know that I'm not talking to myself. Thank you, Larry. Okay, so now that you have identified the needs of the client and the class, thank you so much, Iyonda. You've now identified, you have profiled your property, you have profiled your client, then you now match it and you start speaking the language of that client. Don't go off it. See, most times, the reason why clients don't come back to us or why they start ghosting us is because we're giving them the wrong, we're speaking the wrong language, okay? Yes, thank you so much, Rita. NHF means National Housing Fund, right? It's a program that the government has for most civil servants, staff that are working in governmental institutions. And I think it's open to the general public, but you need to register and open an NHF account, okay? You need to register, open an NHF account and start contributing. And funny enough, this NHF is not one big money, really. So you can, I think you can open the account. The last time I inquired about it, you can open it with about 30,000 naira, right? Open an NHF account with Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, FMBN. Open that account with maybe 30,000 naira and then start contributing to it on a monthly basis. Every month, start paying maybe 40K or 30K into that NHF account. If you have contributed to that account for a minimum of 6 months, you can request for a loan. That's how easy it is. So this is a program that is open to mostly all civil servants, people working in governmental institutions. And I think regular civilians can also take advantage of it, like I just explained, right? So NHF means National Housing Fund. It is a loan, right? And this loan, when you apply for it, the government can give you, say you're applying for, maybe you have contributed up to 3 million naira or 4 million naira. You can apply for a loan of 50 million, or I think double or triple of what you have in it. Whatever amount you have contributed, you can apply for a loan of double that amount or triple it, depending of what you have contributed. And then you can, the government can give you that loan, and then you can now spread it over the payback time. You can spread it over 10 years, 15 years, depending on the agreement or what the government gives you. And then you start paying back little by little every month. But then you have actually you have gotten the loan and you have bought a property. Now that property will be yielding cash to you already within that space that you are paying back the loan at a very meager rate of 6% per year. So if you are getting a loan of, say, 10 million naira, the government gives you a loan of 10 million naira, you're not, every year, you're paying back gradually with a 6% interest rate. But normal mortgage banks, normal PMIs, if you get a loan from normal PMIs, you are paying back with an interest rate of 30%. I think it's even up to 32% now, right? 32% compared to 6%, the margin is wide. So a lot of companies that have NHF, right, they are open to using it to buy properties because that is the only reason that the government will give you that loan. If you want to buy a car, you can't get it. You have to actually have subscribed to a property. It is a company that will now help you, the property company that will now help you to access that loan. That is the only way to access that loan, right? And if you are talking to companies in this line, many staffs say pension, we know what pension in Nigeria is right now. Pensioners, when you have worked all your life and you're now 60 years and you have retired, when you're supposed to be enjoying your pension, I mean, all of you can attest to the fact that these pensions most times are not even paid to these old people. The politicians eat it like it is a tug of war for pensioners to be getting their pension every single month. We know what they are going through. Some of them even die in the process of trying to fight to get their pension. So now that they are in active service, when they are 30 years old, when they are 40 years old, and they have money in their pension, they are very ready to use it that time. Because some of them don't even, this is a hard truth, but some of them don't even leave to enjoy their pension. They have worked and worked. Many people die at the age of 55. The country is so tough that life expectancy is reducing by the day. So some civil servants don't even live to enjoy their pension after they are 60. So when they get the opportunity to use part of their pension when they are 30 or 40, 45 to acquire a property, they dive at it. So if you have anybody that is in the civil service space or governmental institutions, you can write a proposal. Go and speak to them. That's that. You can buy property. I can help you to buy property without you paying all of it, right? I can help you access your pension. And then when they give you that opportunity, just call us. You don't need to give it, just call us. We will take up that transaction with you, attend the meeting, do the presentations with you, and then you can now close and we can help you make millions. And of course, when they are buying like 40 properties or 40 units at the same time, only that one transaction, you are good because the commission, let me not go there. The commission will be coming like 20 million, 30 million hitting your account at a go, right? So that's like a very lucrative area to a very attractive segment of the market that you need to also be looking at. A lot of realtors, all of us know people that work in civil, that are civil servants or, cooperative heads. Talk to them about it and then come to us and we'll help you run it, okay? So when you now identify the client, you have identified the property and you have matched them, then you should now be ready for objection handling, okay? Because that's what will follow. Once you have given the client the right property that fits or befits that client segment, the objections will always come. Why is their payment plan only 12 months? Can they spread it to 18 months? You are ready to tackle such objection, right? Any objection that the client might have, because once you go past matching the property to the client, the next step is objection handling. And with this, you need to at least know the kinds of questions that clients are, asking. Can I get, the price is too high? Can I get a discount? I can't pay at once. Or maybe they're saying pay in 12 months. Can they stretch it for me? Or can I pay, if they say pay 30% down payment, and the client doesn't have 30% down payment, sir, we can also speak with the company if you'll be able to make it 10% first this month, or if they can allow you to make 10% every month in the first 3 months if you're not able to do a bulk payment of 30%, right? So objections is the next segment that will always follow. After you have given the right property to the right client, it doesn't mean that there won't be objections. In fact, objections is part of every transaction. Whether the right client or the wrong client, objections is part of it. So you also want to go online, because if we start talking about all the kinds of questions that your client might be asking, We're already 6:56. So these questions are online, right? Just go online and look at what are the objections of a first-time buyer. Put this question on Google. Questions will come out that first-time buyers, objections that first-time buyers will always ask. Then you write these questions down and now still ask the same ChatGPT or Google, what is the response to this? What is the best response to this question? Say that the objection is, for example, the objection is, oh, that's too expensive, I can't afford it. What is the most suitable answer to this objection? ChatGPT will state it for you. Then you begin to rehearse it. All the questions, you need to do them one after the other. Put the objection and then tell ChatGPT, give me the most suitable answer to tackle this objection for an investor, from an investor into real estate property, right? So you must always streamline your search, and ChatGPT will give you the most suitable answer. Even me, till now, I still use ChatGPT to help me in such situations, like to help me prepare when I want to meet a client or when I want to do a presentation. I still use ChatGPT or Google. It will help you. It's your friend. It will help you. Most of these things that we have problems with, they are online. The problem is that we don't like to read. We don't like to study. We don't like to take the time to do the research before we meet the client. Okay, so objection handling is like the last segment after you have matched the client. Then tackle the objection that follow, and then close. When you know that you have tackled objections, as in the client is giving objection after objection. Oh, sir, are there any other concerns? Are there any other concerns, sir? If the price was not the problem, would you be going for the property? Would you buy? And then you say, oh, apart from the price, I want to know if they can let me service it by myself. I want to know if maybe any other objection after price, right? Ask him, keep asking him, do you have any other concerns, sir? Do you have any other concerns, ma? Do you have any other thing that you're looking to come with the property? Ask them. And by the time you've asked and they don't have consent, sir, can we now do the offer? Ask for the sale. Close it. Can we send you the offer letter next week, sir? Since they have agreed that, okay, you can, even though you don't have 30% now, the company has agreed that you can pay 10% now and then do another 10% next month. Or we can spread it beyond 12 months. We can do 15 months, right? If that's the objection that they had, and you have been able to give them a solution to it, ask them straight, can I send you the offer letter, sir, next week, so that you can make your down payment? You can kickstart, encourage them. Because at this point, right, most clients now go into what they call buyer's panic or something. I think that's what they call it, buyer's panic. So they go into a state of, if it's you, uncle, that you want to pay out 20 million naira. 20 million naira is not small money, right? After you have handled all the objections, they go into buyer's panic, right? And they are scared because they want to let go of a lot of money at a go. Encourage them. That point is where you now tell them about the integrity of the company, about properties that the company has delivered, about the track record of the property they are investing into. Give them confidence into what they are buying. Because at that point, after you have handled up the objections, now they are scared because they want to let go of a big money at a go. So you now have to build their confidence into what they are buying. So this property, you will not regret, because at the end of this year, you would have made so. I have a client, now is the time to now bring your testimonials forward. My previous client, that's how he was skeptical. But now he's smiling to the bank on a monthly basis because his unit is doing 1.5 million naira monthly. And I assure you, this company, this is their track record. These are the clients that they have served. You want to now build their confidence into that transaction and then ask for the sale. So I'll be sending you the offer letter. Can I get your email address? can I get your name and address and your email? So we'll send you the offer letter so that you now see the terms and the agreement of the transaction. That way, you would have been able to at least go past asking for the sale to actually sending them an offer, right? And then once you send them an offer, let them see the contract terms, the contract of sale, let them see all of that as well. By the time they are clear with that, the next thing is down payment. Okay, so we have moved from the beginning where we talked about understanding your client need, understanding the segment that your client falls into, and then knowing the profile of the property to offer to that client. Once you know the segment that the client falls into, pick that the profile of the property that falls into it, offer it, speak the language of that segment, right, to the client. Next thing will be objection handling. The client will be telling you, oh, I don't like this about the property. You need to now start educating them and tackling the objection. When you have gone past objections, at that point, that's also the point where you take them to physical inspections, right? Take them to physical inspections and when they're at physical inspection, that is your opportunity to close because you are seeing them face to face at that time. That is your highest opportunity that you have to be able to convince them that this is the right property for them. This property comes with all the things that they need for that being an investor or being a first time or being an institutional. Do you understand? That is the best time for you to close that client, okay? And then once you've gone past the inspection, objection handling, tackle it, and then ask for the sale, okay? I hope that so far we all understand the process of matching a client to a property and then what the next stages are and then how to close, right? So I would open the floor to get feedback now and questions from everyone that's online. If you have a question, if you have feedback, something you don't understand that I said, now is the time. The floor is open. I see Anna, I see Kristen, Folake Lanre, Mr. Stan, Mrs. Sarmi, Mustafa, and Rita in the house. So if you have a question or you want to also make some kind of contribution to educate us more, the floor is open. You can unmute yourself and you can also speak. Right. So I'm waiting for questions. I'm waiting for contributions. What are challenges that you have faced and how did you handle it? How were you able to match a client to a property and finally close? If you have faced a challenge, how did you handle it? If you want to contribute, you can unmute yourself and speak. Anybody wants to speak? Anybody, any questions?
Hi.
Is it okay to reach out? Okay. Hi.
Evening, Ma. Thank you so much for the knowledge you've impacted. I'm very glad I joined. Yeah, this is my first time joining live.
Thank you.
And you had to send me.
Oh, wow. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, so the thing is, I think a few months ago, a friend of mine reached out. He wanted to get a property actually, but I didn't know how to go about it because he wanted something he could spread payments for maybe 10 years or 15 years. But at that time, I didn't really have knowledge of this NHF thing. Today is my first time I'm even hearing about it. Because most of the things, the property I sell are just really lands. That's what I focus on. So when he came with the idea that, okay, he wanted to get a house because he's married with a child. So I did not know what to do. So my question now is, I want to go back to him to tell him, okay, I found out a way he can actually get a property and pay little by little because he works at VI, but he lives currently, I think, at Abule Egba. So he said instead of using that transport and all of that, and he's saving, he just wants to get something around maybe that Lekki side, so that he would be able to complete the payments even while working. So I'm thinking this NHF thing is going to be a good idea because of the interest rates that is small, and the whole thing, down payment and all of that, is affordable. So I don't know if Terra Properties have if they have this thing they can do, because he's also not really on high end side of the how will I put it? So he's
It's not
not
a high earner.
yeah, so he's not looking for something like maybe 100 million or 200 million, maybe something from 50 million, maybe 30, 40, 50. That range is okay for him, but he wanted to know like the down payments and how to go about it. So I didn't handle that whole situation well because I had no knowledge of it. Yes, so that's very good. So maybe think about it and what to do. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, Falake. So yes, like when I was explaining or talking about the institutional buyers, right? I said that most times they are going for properties that is low priced. And like our estate in Lakwe, our two-bedroom apartment, two-bedroom maisonette with BQ is 40 million naira. Okay. It is off plan, but that is the best way for people that are working and looking to buy properties. Most times people that they're not earning much, so definitely they don't have 100% of the money. Even the 40 million naira property that he wants to buy, I don't think he has the whole 40 million at once to pay. So the best route for workers that they don't earn so much, the best route for them is to start paying gradually for a property that they want to acquire in the next 2 years. Okay, so if he's looking at, oh, I want to move to the Lekki axis, it will mean that it's not an immediate movement for him. It will have to be a movement that he would sacrifice for the next 1 year, 2 years, and then acquire that property and then move in. Know that, okay, let me just squeeze myself for the next 2 years. I will still be paying rent and then also buying a property. That after 2 years, I'm no longer paying rent. I'm now living in my own house. That is a good plan, right? For somebody that does not earn high, to know that in the next 2 years, that's the last time you are going to pay rent. After 2 years, you're not living in your own house. That's a good plan, right? So what he wants to do is since he's working in VI, it means that he has pension. The company must be deducting part of his salary that they used to deposit in his pension account. And then he probably wants to now ask in his company, do we have access to NHF? He should find out, because he must be a contributor to NHF. And if he is not, then now is a good time for him to start. All right. He can apply for the NHF. The way he can do that is to register with the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. There's a form, right? We can help him get the form. You fill it, apply, and start contributing to the NHF. He can do that on his own. Or he should also find out if the company is also doing that already for them, right? So that way, he has started his journey to owning his property, his 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom apartment. Our 3-bedroom at Nathan's Bay is 50 million naira. Very affordable. Okay, so he can start now and then start out the process of opening an account with the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. We can start out he can now do, if he has up to 5 million naira, the down payment for that property is just 5 million naira. That's the down payment. 5 million. That's the down payment. Then he can now start the process of accessing his pension. That process takes about 6 to 9 months, right? It's not a quick process. So once he has started the journey to owning his units of making the down payment of 5 million naira, then he now fills the form with the mortgage bank, and then the mortgage bank now starts the process of accessing his pension, because it takes time to access it. But of course, we can help him access it, okay? Then he starts that process, and then we can also now start the process of accessing his NHF. NHF in itself takes between 9 months to 1 year to access, to get the loan, okay? So if he has made a contribution within the space of 1 year, he has made a contribution of, say, 4 million naira or 5 million naira, he can now apply for a loan of 10 million, 15 million to help him pay as well for the property he's buying. Then that same period, we're also accessing his RSA. So within that period of 2 years, he would have been able to acquire and pay for the property, the 2-bedroom apartment or the 3-bedroom apartment that he wants to buy of 50 million naira, right? And then the payback, that the loan that you can now help him acquire, the bank will spread it for a period of 10 years or a period of 15 years for him to now start paying back. So all of this is subject to what is convenient for him, or what he can afford to pay. Do you understand? So it is something that we need to sit down and look at what is easy for him to pay back, or what is easy for him to collect and then pay for the property and then pay back. Do you understand? Over a period of 10 years or 15 years. So yes, you want to get back to him and give him this information. Okay. I see some other questions have been dropped. Let me just go to the chat box and read about it. Okay, Rita is asking, is it okay to reach out to clients to ask why they are not proceeding with a close, even when you have done everything? Yes. And I always encourage this, right? So there's nothing to lose. You don't have anything to lose at this point, right? If a client is now ghosting you and they're not yielding to close, it is okay for you to ask them, sir, what's the reason that you are not willing to go ahead with this property? That's an objection, because if they are not willing to close, it means there is an objection. There's something stopping them. So of course, it is okay to go back to the client to ask him, sir, why, what is it about this property that you don't like? Or what is it? What's the objection, or what is the reason that you're not continuing with our conversation? Do you understand? So yes, it is very okay for you to go back to a client to ask them why they are not willing to go ahead with a close. After you've done everything, you have taken them to inspection, you have answered their question. What if they are not going ahead with your conversation? Then it either means that they don't want to buy that kind of property. 1, 2, there are some clients that are not ready now, but they are in the information gathering stage. So they will be acting like, oh yes, I'm ready. There are some of them. What is the time duration that you think that you'll be ready to make this payment? Because some of them are just trying to gather information because information. Some are gathering, theoretical information. Some, they want to gather physical information. They want to see how the property looks like that is 40 million naira. If you're telling them this is 40, let me go and don't forget, it's not only your property, and they would have still gone for another realtor's inspection. Keep it at the back of your mind that you're not going to get all the clients that come into your pipeline. What you will get is times 2% or 3%, right? So the client pays, don't spend the money in your mind. Don't spend the commission that has not come. So, right, you need to you need to keep in mind that not all the clients are yours. Not all the people they are speaking to are yours. So yes, go back to the client to ask, reach out to them to ask why they're not proceeding with a close, even after you've done everything. At least at that point, you really have nothing to, nothing to lose. If they are not going ahead with the conversation, then there's a reason why. If they are not, even if they don't end up buying from you, at least you would have known the reason, so that when you are dealing with your next client, you know where to avoid, what to say, or you would have actually known that, oh, I had a client that had the same objection, but this is what I told him, or this is what he did, or this is how to now tackle that objection. Do you understand? So for the sake of gathering experience and information, even if the client don't end up buying, it is good to go back and ask. Okay. I hope that the next question, my question is, how do you deal with an off-plan property that takes a long time to be developed? Right. So how to deal with a property that takes a long time to develop? A lot of the time, right, when those clients are going into that kind of transactions, there should be a contractual agreement that if you are not delivering my property in 18 months, tell me what the compensations will be. These things, like, look, we're in Nigeria, right? There are a lot of reasons why developers are not meeting up to timelines. One good reason is inflation, okay? We personally, at Terra Developers, we have experienced this firsthand, right? A lot of clients that have bought properties at a particular price when the dollar rate was 650 naira. When iron rod was going at 1,000 or a million per ton, now the client has paid 40 million for that property. The cost of constructing that property prior to when the client bought probably was 35 million. And maybe the company was going to make a gain of 5 million naira on a unit, right? Now the client has keyed in at that particular price of 40 million. But it is now costing the developer 50 million naira to build that unit. That's what happened in Nigeria in the past 2 years or 1-2 years. Inflation went 300, 500%. All of us know now. We're all going to market. So these are reasons that prolong the delivery period of companies. What you are going to do with your client as the realtor is to educate, to keep in touch. First of all, keep in touch. Don't ghost them. Customer relationship is the only way, but it's not being delivered. Relationship is the only way, right? You want to be in touch. You want to keep in touch with your clients from time to time, even when you don't have any updates on the construction. You want to keep in touch to check on them, like, oh, sir, how are you doing today? I just decided to check on you to know that everything is fine. Just, keep that relationship going. When it is their birthday, you want to be there to wish them happy birthday. If it is their children's birthday, you want to be there to wish their children happy birthday. If it's their anniversary, you want to find every reason to keep in touch, because that relationship is the only thing that you can count on when the property is not being completed, or the company is wasting more than 18 months time, or the company is taking more than 18 months time to deliver the unit. Customer relationship is the way to pacify the client, because this is Nigeria. There are 1,001 reasons why developers are not meeting up to timelines. And I can tell you this for a fact, right? Because the Nigerian terrain, even you go to the market today, something you bought yesterday is 1,000 naira. By the time you're going next week, it is 1,200. So this is cutting across even to building materials, right? And this is now affecting delivery. Okay, so you want to keep a good relationship. with your client so that when there are issues, it is easy for you to reach a soft place in the heart of your client. Reason is because you have kept a good rapport. So you can easily access the soft part of their heart to explain to them, sir, give us 3 months more, 6 months more. And while you are doing that, you are also reaching out to the company to find out, to speak on behalf of your client, to find out what is the compensation that you guys are going to give to my client. Because, I mean, it's a breach of contract. Your contract states that you're going to deliver in 18 months, but you did not. So there should be some kind of compensation to my clients, or there should be some kind of negotiation or some sort of agreement at the table, right? So that is the way to handle clients that have bought properties that the property is not being delivered on time. Most times, you want to also tell your client beforehand, sir, we know that the contract carries 18 months, but please, this is Nigeria. Just let's put our minds at 24 months. Okay, I do this. Yes, you can do it with your clients. I do it with my client. If I know that the delivery that the company is telling me is June, I would say, sir, the company is saying June, and that also depends on the rapport that you have. The company is saying June, but let's add a give and take 6 months extra, right? So let's keep our minds at December for delivery. If you do this upfront, you have already bought more time for yourself and for your client. Okay, so these are strategies or techniques that you can use to handle your clients when the delivery is not coming forth at the time that it's supposed to come forth. Of course, the delivery will come later, it will still happen, but it just didn't happen at that particular time, right? So customer relation is the way to go when you experience such challenges, right? Oh wow, 6:23. I saw another question. What that is? Paid employment, Mrs. D. Yes, of course. So one paid employment. Of course, the kind of requirement factor is that you need to have been a contributor to NHF before you can apply for it. So if only one person, either the husband or the wife, is in paid employment and has access to NHF, of course, they can apply. It is that person that's in paid employment that will apply for the NHF if he or she has been a previous contributor to it. Okay, so yes, an answer to that question is yes. The couple can apply, the couple that is in paid employment can apply for the NHF loan. Yes. Okay. So any other question in the house before we call it a day? I hope we have all gained value. If you have gained value, just type value or respond with your best emoji. Yes, hi.
Hello, good evening, ma.
Good evening, I can hear you.
Firstly,
go ahead.
I just want to stumble into the industry. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I just want to stumble into real estate industry, and I'm trying to seek for information and gather information in order to probably to start my career into real estate industry. But I know to get much more knowledge about this, I need to, seminars, research, and all. So now this is it. As regards to getting clients, right? Is it just advisable to just go to any organizations and just tell them about your brand? You know, you're not registered already, like you're still like a middleman or something. You understand what I'm saying, like an agent. So is it advisable to just go to, different companies, organizations, and tell them? Can you hear me clearly? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Are you done?
Yeah, I'm not done. Like, is it advisable to just go to organizations, institutions, the way you said it, to just tell them you are into real estate, you should just, you understand? Or it's more advisable to have someone in the organization. And also, secondly, and also as regards
Okay,
to, I
so
mean,
I think I
Terra,
get your question.
okay. Hello?
The line is breaking, but I think I get your question. In the real estate space, starting in the real estate space, is it advisable to just walk into any company and just tell them you're into real estate, you can help them? So that's your question, right? So most times, right, you can't just walk into any company, of course. And please don't stumble into real estate. Walk into real estate. Don't stumble into it. Because if you stumble into it, you might stumble out. The
Yeah,
challenges that come
you
with
need to have interest, right?
yes, so you need to have the tenuity, like the desire to add, because I say this because it comes with a lot of challenges, and this is not to scare you. There's no business that does not come with challenges, right? Real estate
Yeah.
comes with challenges, but then it also comes with higher reward. Real estate is a space where you can become a millionaire overnight. And I kid you not, you can become a millionaire overnight in real estate. Before I started real estate, I was into the interior business. And yeah, I used to make little gains here and there, 5,000, 10,000 today, you know. But there was a time I told myself I had the desire to make big money. And real estate is the only place, or at least one of the sure places or businesses that will give you big money at a go. Overnight, you can turn a millionaire, right? But you need to put in the work. So it comes with a lot of input. You need to have put in the work, sow the seed, and then you begin to reap the fruits. So yes, you need a lot of skills, you need to learn. But in the as regards to the question you asked, like just walk into any company, of course, no, you can't just walk into any company. First of all, you need to meet these people. You need to at least know one person in that company that can maybe um introduce you to maybe the HR or the cooperative head, because these are the people that facilitate bulk sales for their staffs. So that is a more reason why you have to let everybody that knows you, they must all know that you are into real estate, so that when there is an opportunity for a company that wants to buy property for their staffs, someone can introduce you, someone that knows somebody can introduce you. Okay, so you can
Okay.
walk into a company and just request to see that either the HR or the cooperative head of that company. You can do that. I mean, to introduce yourself. But most times, such companies, they always want to deal with people, realtors that are serious, realtors that probably have a company registered, right? Registered with the CAC, right? So that they are not just dealing with just anybody. Or it has to be somebody that knows you, your friend or your family, someone that knows somebody that knows somebody. Sometimes I call my friends up and I tell my friends, babe, Alpha, do you know anybody in this company? Do you have any contact in so place? If she does not have, oh no, I don't want guy that works with maybe Lagos State, one thing. I beg, connect me to that guy, or I beg, we need contact. So you need to call somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. You need a contact inside that can help you to speed up things, because everybody wants to give these opportunities to people they know, right? Or people they like. So you want to go through someone that knows someone. And if you have to walk into companies by yourself, then the go-to persons are the HR personnel or the cooperative heads of those companies. So if you walk in there and request, I want to see the HR, I want to see the cooperative head, some companies you might be successful, some They'll tell you, are you an appointment? Do you have an appointment? Do you know the person? If you don't know the person, then you don't have the right to see the person. Do you understand? So it has to be somebody that knows someone. Or you can also just try, if you try 10 companies, walk into 10 or 15 companies, you probably will get 1 or 2 that will allow you to maybe see their HR. Do you get? And then HR is the person to now pitch to. I work with a real estate, I have a real estate company. I can help your staff acquire properties through NHF or through RSA. You can now pitch to them. Do you understand? I don't know if this answered your question.
Yeah, I understand better.
Great.
Thank you.
So please make up your mind now that you're just coming into the real estate space, and it's going to be a smooth. I won't tell you that it will be a smooth ride, but it's going to be a fruitful ride, right? Because real estate pays, like it pays in millions. Okay, there's money here, money to be made, but of course there's work to be done. Okay. You're welcome.
Apparently, my initial decision was probably I want to just go into real estate as like a retirement plan. You know what I'm saying? Like an retirement plan. Like I wasn't ready, like, you know, when you have money before you can actually go into real estate. And because I read some books whereby you don't get rich by going into real estate, you get richer, which means you have to be rich before you go into real estate. You understand? So
That's
then I just feel it's a challenge. It's something I like.
Angle.
What?
That's in the investment angle. If you want to, you're talking about going into real estate
angle,
as an investor. Yes.
It's probably different from the realtor angle. Yeah.
Yes. So there's the realtor angle that sells properties to make money, and there's the investor. So
and that's before you go to the investors angle, you have to pass through the process. And I'm ready. Yeah, that's it. So I really want to pass through the challenges and all. Though I have a small business I'm running, but I'm trying to navigate 2 things. You understand? Like as a fresh guy, I just finished my NYC. So, you know, seeking for a job and everything, you need to create an opportunity and a venue for yourself, right? So that's exactly what I'm doing. It's not that I just want to stumble into it. I just want to make research. I want to know about it very well before I just venture into it. I really appreciate the information you passed through this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So a faster route to get even into the investment angle is coming through the realtor angle. You can market properties, sell it, and your return, once you get your commissions, invest it and buy properties, because that is your dream. That's what you want to do. But you can achieve that faster when you sell properties and get commissions, and you're a businessman. So you already even have a business to keep you going, and you can do real estate on the side, like market properties on the side, sell properties, make commissions, and then now invest them into buying properties. And that's where the saying comes: you don't get rich by getting into real estate. You get richer. Right? Because you should have money to actually buy the property first. Then the property will now increase that money for you. So it now grows the wealth for you. Okay? Right. So
sorry, lastly, I don't know if this is true. Yeah, there's something I saw online. Let's take, for instance, I mean, the owner of the company puts the price as like 100 million. So the realtor wants to resell it, and she actually added 30 million to it, making 130 million. Is it really advisable to do that kind of stuff? Right? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. So most times that is possible for private properties, right? If your client, if you're getting a client that is buying property from a company, maybe buying directly from the company, your commissions most times will come from the company itself, right? But most times that's doable if you're selling fully detached, that's already built and standing, and the owner of the property is telling you, my property is going for 100 million. But you have a client that wants to buy. The client doesn't know the owner. You are the one that knows the owner. And it is the owner that has told you that it is 100 million. So of course, you can mark it up 110, 120, depending on the strength of the person that you know that wants to buy. And you tell the owner of the property that this is the price I told my client. If he buys, he's paying to you, and I'm getting my 20 million markup. So it is an agreement thing. It's something that you have to also agree with the seller first that you are marking up, because of course most people that are buying property, they will not pay to you. They will pay to the owner of the property, right? So it is an agreement thing that you would have to go with into the into agreement with the owner of the property or whoever is your contact to the property. Right? So, but that is only, you can only get away with that on private properties, like properties that are fully built.
Terra doesn't do that kind of stuff. Terra doesn't do that kind of stuff.
No, at all. So we deal with a larger clientele base. So there is a standard price for all properties. Do you get? And when you bring your client and the client buys, we now pay your commissions to you. Right. So there's a standard of operation that Terra uses for all staffs and all realtors and all clients.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. So let me just see. I think someone dropped a comment, or was it a question? Good to know you're an interior designer, Ma. Please, do you still practice? Also, can you combine real estate with interior design? Yes. Okay. So for now, I used to be an interior designer, but when I started real estate, because I was learning and I wanted to just give real estate my all, I put a hold on interior design, right? But interior design is something that you can easily combine with real estate. Reason is because most home buyers are always looking for interior designers. When they buy, then they want somebody to help them fill up do the interior design, the bed, the chairs, and all of that. So interior design is a business that you can easily combine with real estate, okay? But real estate will be your major, because that's what brings the bulk of the money. There's money in interior design too, but that should now be the side, okay? When you have now sold to the clients, you can now tell the client, oh, I can help you set up this apartment to be an Airbnb unit, bring it up to taste, and you can now show them probably some work you've done in the past to buy their trust, and then they can now entrust that contract to you to design the interior of the property. So yes, interior design is something you can easily combine with real estate as well, right? And we have spent so much time. This is 6:38. So we'll be calling it a day from the training. Thank you so much. I see Cherry here too. My namesake is here. Value as always. Thank you for all you do for us, Cherry. Thank you, Cherry. Thank you, everyone, for joining our training today. Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope you gained value. Please just drop on the WhatsApp group if you have further questions, or you want to drop your comments, or you want to drop your thank you messages. Please drop on the WhatsApp group. We welcome your reviews. And then please endeavor to bring your clients for inspections to all our sites. If you need more information about our properties, reach out to me. I'm always available to give you more information of our properties in Lagos and Abuja, right? So I'm calling it a day on this training. Thank you everyone for joining. Our next training will be in September. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Kristen, Anna, Cherry, everybody that joined. Thank you so much for joining. See you on the next training. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you, Cherry.
Are we good to go?